Hello, this is the OSUIT Library, and today we're going to talk about modules in Canvas. And this will mostly just be a quick run through. We'll go more into specifics in other videos. But for right now, we are here at our Canvas website, osuit.canvas.okstate.edu. Kind of a tongue twister, I know. So we're going to come over here to this left-hand sidebar, and we're going to come to this third option here, which is courses. Now, quick note, I am technically not a student, I am an instructor. So both this and your dashboard right here are going to look slightly different to mine. However, for the most part, the module basics are pretty much going to be the same. So I'm going to click on this college strategies one. And then since I am not a student, I'm going to switch my view so that I can be a student. So hello, this is OSUIT Library Test Student here with modules. So if you come right here, we're going to come to this fourth option right here, and this is our modules. And here we are. So for the most part, modules is probably going to be your best friend on Canvas because pretty much everything like assignments, discussions, any type of reading material, pretty much all of it is going to be housed here, and it's going to be housed in a way that you can kind of see like an organization. So for example, we have like our module 2 here, that's a certain topic, module 3, etc., etc. So you'll notice that some of these each have different icons. So if I look right here to the left, if you're not sure what they are, you can hover over it and it'll tell you. So this is a page, for instance, and this is basically kind of like a web page. So it'll just take you to whatever page, it'll have information on it. Sometimes it'll have other things embedded in it. And you can either click next. So like if you're just going down the module in order, you can always do that. But if you don't really want to do that, you can either just click on modules again, or just come up to this left-hand side and press this left arrow. So now we're going to get down to this big heading here, Module 1 Video and Resources. And now we have some different icons. So for example, if I hover over this icon says assignment. And so if you look down here, you can even see like a date, you can even see points, things like that. So if I click on this, that is going to take me to that specific assignment. And then we're going to go either back. Again, you can also click modules if you'd like, either one. And then if we come down here underneath assignment, we have this icon, and this is attachment. So this is like, for example, you can see this is a PDF. Sometimes your instructors will upload things like PowerPoints and stuff like that. And so you'll just click on that. And then this is very important. So while this is loading, and this is going to take a while because this is like, as you can see, 146 pages, which, well, never mind. It didn't take that long at all. But anyways, you can't really print from Canvas per se. So like, for example, if I wanted to print this and I right click and press print and it pops up, see how it's printing like the actual web page and not the PDF itself. If you look up here where this blue link is, you have to click that. And so that will download the PDF. Go away. And now from there, you can see we have our printing icon right here. If you are printing from the library, quick note, make sure that it is on our actual library printer. So make sure it's not on Adobe PDF or else it won't print. But that is unfortunately the only way that you can print from Canvas is you actually have to download whatever the attachment is, whether it's a PowerPoint, document, whatever, and then print it from there. So I'm going to exit out of that. It does also create a new window if you download and click on it. So just also keep that in mind. And so this time I'm just going to go to modules because that's just easier. And so I'm going to come down here a little bit more. And so you can see this icon right here. So this is a discussion topic. And if you look over here to the right, this said this assignment is overdue. So if you're ever unsure of whether or not an assignment is overdue, if you just look over here to the right, you'll see kind of like this red circle with the minus line. As you can see, OSUIT Library Test Student isn't doing so hot. That's okay. We can still catch up. But anyways, this is our discussion topic. And so again, you'll see that there is a date and there are points. So this is technically assignment. Not all discussions may be assignments, but your instructor can assign them, if that makes sense. And so I'll go over how to do discussions and everything in a later one. But that is what discussions look like. And if you look right here, it'll even switch over from modules to discussions. Again, I'll explain that in a second in another video. So I'm going to click on modules again. I'm going to come down, and if you see this little rocket ship, it'll even say quiz right here. But if you hover over this rocket ship, it also says quiz. Again, there is your assignment date and your points. If you click on that, it'll take you straight to the quiz. So an assignment. So I'm going to press back in this instance. And then again, we have our assignment and everything else. And it's just the same as you go down. These icons don't really change. The only other thing I'm going to show you is this last icon right here. It says external URL. That's basically a URL or a website outside of Canvas. So if I click on this, for example, OSUIT Counseling Services, I'm going to open it up. So you'll notice that something kind of popped up here to my right. So if I come up and hover over this, it said pop-ups were blocked. So that just means that I can allow a video to pop up if it's from Canvas. So if I do this, it'll actually open up the video in a new tab if it would like. So I'm going to switch this over since I trust Canvas. And now that icon has disappeared. So if I go back now, come all the way down, back to our URL. Now it has automatically popped up. And now I can play the video if I want to, or if it still doesn't, if you see right here underneath the site was open in a new browser window, it'll even say open video. I can just click that. It'll also open it. And it does open it up in a new tab, same as the previous. And so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of those. And so that is just a brief explanation of modules, just in terms of like the icons, how to navigate, etc. For more specifics, I'll be going into later videos that should be linked up in the top right-hand corner. But if you have any questions or you need additional help, you can contact us. Our information is in the description box, or you can also leave a comment down below and we can help.